We're still in Beulah.
So this is Beulah. I don't know how many days we're gonna stay here, but I don't know. So, but
Okay, why are we still in Beulah?
We're still in Beulah. Well, I'm not sure how much we talked about this, but I made a big mistake when we left Kansas with a truck without a title. In Kansas, you can do electronic title. It's a huge mess, but long story short, we had to get the title mailed first to the previous owner, then he signed it and sent it to us. And we just waited and waited and waited. And finally, I texted him and said, hey, what day did you send the title? And he's like, I'm going to send it tonight. Seriously. Okay, so
that was like 4 days after we thought he'd sent it.
Anyway, we wasted about 4 days there. We got the truck titled, finally, in Colorado. That was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. The lady in Pueblo County was awesome. I didn't catch her name, but she's a superstar. First thing I went in and she said, you're going to have a VIN verification, and our guy that does it isn't here right now. But if you go across the street to the dealership, they'll do it for you. So I ran across the street to the Cadillac dealership, probably first and last time I'll ever be in a Cadillac dealership. And this young lady jumps out. She's about 5'1". She looks up at the hood of the truck. She looks at the snowbank. She decides she's not going to try to read the VIN off the dash, so instead she gets it off the inside of the door. And for no charge, she did the VIN verification. I came back to the county, county courthouse, and it's not like the big city when you have to wait in line for an hour. There was barely anyone in there. Went right up there. She registered both the truck and titled the truck, but while we were at it, we updated registration on the van, and now I think I'm done for the day, and it's only 9 o'clock. It's supposed to be -1 degrees last night. That's 33 degrees below freezing. Let's see what it turned out to be. 8 degrees. Huh. It's much warmer than we thought it was going to be. It's basically a heat wave, huh? Is it cold out there? It's pretty cold, huh?
the snow's really up really high. It's like this high.
Yeah.
Maybe this high.
Sounds really like high. You have some shoveling to do.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Me?
You have some shoveling to do. Gotta get that shovel.
Oh no.
Working.
Oh no.
Make it happen.
Oh no.
Shovel! Well, it's pretty snowy. About a foot of snow in Beulah, but we're out of propane, so we got to go down to the store and get a little bit. We'll see what this truck can do in the snow. A little nervous because there's no weight in the back, but it has four-wheel drive and it seems to work, so let's give it a shot. Cannot believe that worked. I don't know if that's typical of what we're going to see in Idaho or it's going to be a lot more snow, but that felt good. I think this truck is going to be a good decision.
So, we're having a meeting.
Yeah.
We're going to have a meeting.
It's a town hall.
We finished breakfast, and so we try every day to have kind of a planning meeting. It's not every day, a couple times a week anyway. To have a planning meeting about our property, our houses, building. I mean, it varies. Sometimes we're very philosophical. Sometimes we're much more practical, like what are we actually doing about this topic? Or here's a topic we need to research. So we're going to do that today and bring you along so you can watch and see kind of how we think, I guess. So do you have a specific topic for the day, or you just want to show us
Well, I wanted to show this. This is just one timber frame.
Is this an idea for the shop, is what you're saying?
This is an idea
or house?
for one of the houses.
Okay.
So the one that we talked about before is very small. This is more like a shed or like a studio. Very small. It's only 16 by 12. And it's only really one floor, although we talked about maybe adding that as a loft. Basically, I've drawn something similar. It's a pretty big frame, but this is 4 times the size of that, and it's basically 2 stories. So this may be too big because the goal was to build the smaller house first. This is 800 square feet on the ground floor, and then a whole other option for space up on the top. So it's not a big house. I mean,
Yeah.
even if we finish both floors, it's 1,600 square feet.
Right.
But that's the size of the Buckley house, which I felt was a pretty big place. It's not as big as the Mercer house, but we're trying to downsize.
Right, and I didn't want it as big as the Mercer house, but I feel like even if one floor is 800 square feet, and then there's an option, obviously, for the second floor, that's a good amount of space.
Yeah.
You know,
Just seems like a daunting task to build that, doesn't it?
it does. But I feel like that's what I was hoping for, 800 square feet
Yeah.
plus a second floor, because I want the bedrooms on the second floor, and then the first floor for like living space, kitchen, dining, you know,
I think what's going to happen
crafting,
is
school, all that kind of stuff.
I think what's going to happen is it's going to seem enormous from the outside. It's going to seem small from the inside.
Right.
So this plan, I can buy this plan with every single board marked and every cut marked, so I don't have to design it. He's got all the floors put in, and the stairs coming up.
Oh yeah, so that gives you an idea, because I'm having trouble when drawing my
You don't know
picture.
where you're
Where do
going.
I
I don't
put the
know
stairs?
how to draw the stairs in and
That's
how
the
much room
hardest
that
part.
actually
Stairs are
is gonna
hard.
That is
take.
the hardest part of designing. Like, I'm doing my design on SketchUp. That's the hardest part I'm having, is figuring out, first of all, how big are the stairs, and then where do I put them?
Yeah,
That's hard, and then the other thing, when you start drawing a floor plan, you realize stairs are huge,
yeah,
and
they really do take
and
up a
they're
lot
so
of room.
functional that you have to really think out where you're gonna. Like you might, when you start out, you might think, I'm just going to walk the stairs straight up to the wall. Except what do? Jump off the side? You have to have a landing there at the bottom
Jump
and at
off
the
the
top.
side?
Yeah,
You know, because you picture it, right? And then you think, well, in a frame like this,
and then,
if you walk right up to the wall, it's 4 feet high.
right,
You know, and so you wouldn't walk up to the wall.
it has to be back.
You have to be back from the wall so that you can actually step off and not hit your
Yeah.
head and go in. So talk to me about what you're drawing.
Okay, well, I started with this one, but it was more square of a house. And I was trying to, this is the second story, obviously I'm not drawing anything to scale. But I was having kind of a front walk come up here, and then kind of an entryway where you had like hanging coats and kind of a little gable over the stone steps and a little bush. And I was trying to make a sunroom off the side, so we had space for like a sewing machine and craft table and stuff for the kids, because I don't know the size, but if you came in, then there'd be a small bathroom, a little hallway into the kitchen. This would be the kitchen, sink overlooking like a potager, kitchen garden, and then a dining room. And then there'd be another door out here to like a mud room where we would keep laundry facilities, off-grid type stuff probably, but hopefully with a drain and water, I don't know. And then maybe a small patio that has a gate into the potager, and then stairs down. Probably the barn will be over here somewhere. So, but this was a more square design, 3 bedrooms and a bath, which I don't know if we'll have 2 bathrooms or 1 bathroom. That's things we have no idea. So then I migrated my thoughts over to a more rectangular floor plan with kind of a half wraparound porch. So still some stone stairs, still a potager, but accessing that potentially from stairs off of a wraparound porch, still a small sunroom, potentially mud room. It's a little more even. Entry is more in the center of the house, going towards the living room / book area, schoolroom maybe, I don't know. Kitchen, dining still on this side. Mostly because I want to look out over that kitchen garden, you know.
Right.
And then again, upstairs kind of, but it's a more rectangular design. But I still wasn't sure how to put stairs in, and I want a large pantry to store stuff. So we've talked about having a root cellar, but I don't know if that'll be under the house or out near the barn or on the side of a cliff. I have no idea how that's going to work. So kind of made a big pantry here, but a wood burning stove on this side and one on this side. So I was kind of looking at having one on each side of the main center area so that this wood stove heats this part and the cook stove would be on this side, kind of in the center of the room. So it kind of heats this whole center in the winter. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
Say what the hardest thing is when laying out a floor plan.
The hardest thing when laying out a floor plan is not knowing the dimension of everything.
Or anything.
And feeling like,
Not
is
even
this
knowing how
couch
big the
too big
house
for this
is.
space or not big enough for the space or...
How big is a couch? Oh, also, how big
Right.
is a house?
Right, how big is the house? And I think just not knowing how to lay it all out and what's going over the top and what's practical and what's frivolous, like 2 bathrooms. I don't want to be in survival mode, but I want to have things I want and make them pretty. And so I guess being realistic, like having realistic things, like where to put the stoves so they heat something, but also having them an arrangement that is aesthetically pleasing, I guess. And having space for all the things I want. Like I want an area for sewing and I don't want to have to get it out every time I want to use it because it'll probably get used less if you have to get it out every time. So I'm just trying to make space for everything, but not have too many things. So.
And then we decided that we were going to look for a camper. So the plan on the property right away is to take 2 camper trailers to the property to stay in while we build. And we only have 1. So we found a camper, but he can't show it to us till this week, Thursday. So we're still waiting to leave town. So on Thursday morning, we're going to go look at the second camper trailer. And if it fits our needs, we're going to buy that, register it, title it in Colorado, and store it somewhere for the next 2 months. I don't know how that's going to work out.
We'll have to figure it out.
We'll have to figure it out. That's why we're here.
Hey, no, that's dessert tonight. So, no,
There's 1 cookie.
it's not 1 cookie. Just put it back. No, please don't eat any more of that.
Oh.
I was being serious.
I thought you were just being playful for the camera.